Hello everyone, and welcome to the best Warlock Void 3.0 build that you can run in PvP. This is what I use all the time. I think this is the best build that I have, honestly. I run this in everything, whether that's quick play, comp, trials, Iron Banner, I don't really care. This is what I run. So let's get right on into it. Starting with super, I run Slova or Nova Warp. It really just depends on what I'm feeling between the two. So if I'm running sixes, I normally run Nova Warp, though I am gonna run Slova just because I haven't really been using it in sixes and I want to try to get a better feel for it. But I really like Nova Warp. Super slept on. People like to talk a lot of smack about it. They like to say it's bad. I don't understand that. I think it's one of the better supers in the game, especially on Warlock. I don't know. That's all opinion based. I really like Nova Warp though. It is super good, and especially with a lot of the builds you can run, makes this thing absolutely disgusting. As to why I would run Slova over Vortex is just basically because it's a lot easier to hit. The thing tracks, so because it tracks, it's a lot easier to hit like high priority targets like supers or things like that. You have a lot less chance to whiff. That being said, it can be shot and destroyed into the little seekers, but even those seekers can get kills. So there is that. I do think that Slova is better. Not to say that Vortex is bad. I just think it takes a lot more skill to use because you do have to kind of like plan it and plan the trajectory, things like that. But moving on to abilities, I run Healing Rift. You can run Empowering Rift, though it's not my favorite. I think that Healing Rift is better for duels where you are weak. It just lets me fight them a lot quicker or peek out of cover, peek back behind it, things like that. As of our jump, we have Burst Glide. This is very interchangeable with Blink. The exotic that I plan on running is Transversus Steps. So if you like running Blink and like running Astrocyte Verse, that's all fine and dandy. Go for it. Super good there too. If you're a Blink boy, go for it. If you're not a Blink boy, run Transversus Burst Glide. Literally can't go wrong. Strafe, I wouldn't use it personally in PvP. I think it's too slow, and you literally have to be high to be running balanced. It sucks. I'm going to say that now. Melee, Pocket Singularity, don't get a choice, but is still pretty decent. And Axion Bolts, because when paired with Chaos Accelerant, our first aspect makes the bolt absolutely nasty. So what it does is it creates an additional seeker, but I feel like this could be placebo. I feel like it gets more damage, and I feel like it tracks farther, but that might just be complete and utter bullshit. I don't really know, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. I don't know, though. You let me know. I like to pair that with Feed the Void, so pretty much every single time I get a kill with either Pocket Singularity or my Axion Bolt, or for that matter, my Super, it's going to proc Devour. What that does, every single time I get a kill, it's going to heal me up to full, then restart the timer. If I get a kill in that timer, it's going to heal me back up again and restart the clock. Absolutely disgusting for running it down, which is something I really enjoy. Another thing to mention, every single time you get a kill with Devour proc, it grants grenade energy. So the cycle just continues. So boom, pop this, get a kill, procs this. That leads back to this and this. Like, it's just a single, it's a circle of just absolute carnage, which I really enjoy. So definitely something to pair. Just to be clear, some people like to run Child of the Old Gods over, I feel like, either one of the two. I don't think it's better than Devour, for instance, at all, to be honest. The reason why is I feel like Devour helps in 2v1s a lot better than Child of the Old Gods, and I just get more survivability than Child of the Old Gods. That being said, you do get grenade and melee energy back, but the thing is I don't think that the melee is good enough to really be warrant getting energy for it as much. I feel like if you're gonna focus on getting any energy, it'd be your grenade, which it does do that, but so does Devour. So I don't understand. You could pair them and get super good grenade energy back, but I just don't think that. I think that Chaos Accelerant plus the Axion Bolt is just too deadly to pass up over Child of the Old Gods. That doesn't mean that Child of the Old Gods doesn't have its place, but I don't feel like I feel like it's just not as powerful as these two combined, rather than Chaos Accelerant combined with Child of the Old Gods or Feed the Void with Child of the Old Gods. I just don't think it's as good, but you may think otherwise, and that's completely fine. Fragments. First one, Echo of Expulsion. Every single Void ability kill is going to cause the target to explode. Super disgusting with that grenade. I can get a grenade kill, it explodes on somebody, can either kill or at least hurt them to a decent degree. Depends on how close they were. I think if they were like absolutely holding hands, you might get you might get both of them, but I'm not for certain on that. So keep that in mind. Next one I like to run is Echo of Remnants. So every single grenade has increased duration. That means their Axion's going to track for farther, which might go with my placebo with Chaos Accelerant, but again, still not certain on that. Last one, Echo of Leeching. Melee final blows start health regen for you and your nearby allies. I really like this one because I like to get in people's faces with shotguns. That's just my style of play. You may not like it, but that's how I like to play the game. And I just think it helps if I don't get my one tap with my shotgun, I can just throw a pocket singularity or normal melee and start getting health regen, which will help me get into the next fight, assuming that it's a big group or something of that nature. And also, I just don't feel like a lot of these are super good, and to be honest, they're just not really for me. And I just get a lot of like stat like decreases or increases that just like either I don't care about or something like that. I do think that this one would also be good to pair with, actually, because you'll get volatile weapons to your void weapon, but I'm not using a void weapon, so this is actually useless to me. But getting into our guns and whatnot, let's just take a peek over here. So simple, just all the unflinching mods you possibly can run. I do think I'm going to change a few things to put on high energy fire just for extra damage. But I think that even with that being said, I think that this build in itself is pretty good. And we do have 100 recov and 100 discipline. If you have to pick one or the other, pick discipline. You're going to want your grenade back as quick as possible. Like, you can already see I get mine back in 35 seconds, which is even quicker with like Devour proc. So I think that discipline is definitely the move. As for your weapons, I don't think these matter like a whole lot. Like, I feel like you could probably run whatever you want to run. But for me, specifically in PvP, if I'm doing grenade stuff, I want to run this Eye is Luna. This is the first one I think I ever got. It's actually a really good roll. So Steady Hand, High Cal, Rangefinder, Demolitionist. So kills this weapon, generate, again, grenade energy. And activating my grenade ability reloads this weapon. So I'm just getting my grenade back as quick as I possibly can. That's the whole thing about this build, is throwing grapes all over the map. That's the whole point. And this really, really, really helps. I'm telling you, if you get a gun with Demolitionist, keep it, especially something like Eye is Luna. This is one of the better rolls you can get, in my opinion. A lot of people run like moving target in this slot, which is definitely good. Don't get me wrong, and it can help if your aim's just not up to snuff like some other people. But I play Destiny like quite a bit, or I used to. So I feel like my shot is fine to where I can run Demolitionist and be safe. But even if you don't have Demolitionist, that's completely fine as well. You really don't need it with this build. I feel like you're going to get your grenade energy back really quick anyway, especially if you have 100 discipline. But Demolitionist definitely does not set this weapon back. It actually pushes it a lot further. So if you have a Demolitionist like Eye is Luna or something like that, whatever your favorite primary is with Demolitionist, definitely think about running it. But this is what I like to run myself. As for our exotic here, or exotic weapon, I like to run Duality. You guys may know this, might not know this, but I think Duality is the best shotgun currently in the game. That being said, I have a lot more kills with this Retold Tale, but that's because I say that Hawkman's the best hand cannon, so I obviously can't run two exotics at once. If I would, I could, but I can't. So Duality for sure. Absolutely disgusting. It's a slug. It's an aggressive frame. It's literally two things that I love put together. And this thing's absolutely disgusting. Like, people really, I think, don't expect to get I don't think people expect to get aggressive frame shotgun like pellet spread from this thing as much as like the slug, or even vice versa. It really depends. But yeah, I think this thing has absolutely disgusting range. It has really, really good handling. It's just a overall fantastic shotgun, and I don't think there's a reason to not use it. I think this is easily the best thing to pair with in a legendary hand cannon. But then again, if you want to like run like, let's say, a Retold or any legendary, that's fine. But I would have a good heavy to pair with that. For instance, like Gallarhorn, it's pretty much a free like 1 to 2 kills. Actually, like it tracks like crazy. It has Wolfpack rounds, so even if the initial rocket doesn't kill someone, the Wolfpack rounds very much can. So definitely something that you might want to look into, at least in my opinion. I like to run this half truths here mainly because of Eager Edge. Eager Edge is absolutely disgusting, obviously. Just super good in PvP. People don't expect to get Eager Edge, and when you do Eager Edge them, they get pretty tilted, which is always really fun. Again, our exotic, like I said earlier before on our armor, is our Transversive Steps. I really like Transversive Steps, but if you are a Blink boy, I would just pair it with an Astrocyte Verse. And even so, I can still easily get to 100. I'd have to mess around my stats a little bit, but I could easily do it. So there's definitely like flexibility with this build depending on how you like to actually like play. Again, if you like Blink, you can easily do it. If you like running Deadmans, you can easily do it. It really doesn't matter. This build is very flexible in my opinion. I really don't think that your exotic or your weapons here like necessarily matter as much. Now, it doesn't mean that there isn't exotics that can run really well with this. Like Nezarec Sin obviously works super well with this as well, because you're going to get even more ability regen with your Void kills, which is absolutely nasty. And or if you like Scatter Nades, Nothing Manacles, and you still get the enhancements from the Nothing Manacles, you get that enhancement, and you get the enhancement from Chaos Accelerant. It's just extremely flexible depending on what you like specifically in the build. So, for instance, I, for instance, really like Axion Bolts. So what can I run with that? I could run something like Controverse Holds, which improves that charge up for the Void Grenades, which is absolutely disgusting. And when I throw it, I can get that back, which I really like. Pocket Singularity pushes people back. If I'm playing for my melee a little bit there, I can just melee you, you get pushed back, you get poisoned, things like that, right? Like there's ways to build this to make it more your own. This is just the way that I like to do it. Personally, I think above all else on Warlock, you do need 100 discipline for one, and for two, I think that you need to have decent movement. So that's why I like to run Transversive Steps. I'm a big fan of this. If you don't want to use Transversive Steps, you can use something like Ophidian Aspects. They are very good as well. So weapons you're ready, reload quicker, melee range is extended, also very good. There are definitely things that you can run with this to make it more your own, but this is the way that I like to play it. But that's all I have for today, guys. I know this is kind of like a long build craft thing, but if you decide to run this in PvP, let me know your thoughts. Drop them in the comments. If you have any other suggestions of like different builds that I should run, please let me know. I would definitely like to check them out. But if you like the video, consider a like and a subscription. It really helps my channel grow. And I'll catch you in the next one, everybody. Peace.